And beep. Hello, everybody. Welcome to your next favorite game. What's up?
Oh no! Hey, if you're watching on YouTube, I'm an expert streamer. I've done this for a couple times for a straight year. I definitely didn't hit the wrong macros and switch to broken cameras or anything. Don't worry about that. Everything's all good. Hi, Bronson. How are you?
Hey, man.
This is your next favorite game. This is a show about Game Pass. Hey, Xbox Game Pass. It's a fantastic service.
It is fucking amazing. It is the best deal in entertainment, in my opinion.
Ooh, okay.
You ain't getting the value out of a Netflix membership or a Disney Plus membership the way you're getting the value out of Game Pass.
See, Netflix and all those other services throw out quantity. There's tons of stuff. Game Pass throws out quality. No, so like they're similar services, obviously, but for games. But just like those streaming services, you know, I know the big titles, but what are these other games that are being added on here? I have no idea. And like, yes, they're part of the service. I don't have to pay for them, but you know, that's space in my hard drive. I need to know, you know, am I taking a risk on a game that I may not like? If I have a low internet connection, you know, is it worth it to take a chance on this? Yeah.
And then like bandwidth caps.
Right.
Like, no one wants to spend fucking 87 gigs on a game and then to turn out, boy, howdy, this sucks, and that just ate up 1/10 of my bandwidth for the month.
Right. So, like, you know, the pass gets rid of the price, you know, wall, but, you know, you want to know that you're interested in it at the very least, and that's what we're here for, man.
And also, to be fair, like, you know, everyone knows about Halo and, you know, Forza and, like, Alan Wake, but, like, you know, there are a lot of games on here that I've played over the course of time, or DLCs to games that I've played over time on Game Pass that are like, oh, I bet not everyone's heard about this, or if they have, they might not have tried it, so on and so forth.
Exactly. So, guess what? That's what this show's about. We're going to be taking a look at games weekly to let you know what we think, and we're going to try and give you some good ones, you know?
Yeah, boy.
So I think we should start off with what you got, Bronson, because this is a newer release.
This is when did this? I think this came out in December.
I believe December.
Yeah, like I heard about this, and so this was part of it came out like literally a month ago today.
Okay,
and it's a DLC to probably one of Microsoft's biggest games, if not their biggest game right now, which is Gears 5. They put out a DLC for it called Hivebusters, and no one's fucking talking about this, even though it's free on Game Pass. And it's proof, because when you get the achievements for it, it's like, oh yeah, 3% of the people who've played this game have unlocked this fucking achievement. So I don't want to talk about it because I played through it this week and it's awesome.
Really?
It's super good.
Okay.
So what it is they decided to give a story to the characters of the versus mode. Or not the versus mode, the escape mode. So as you know, Gears 5 has campaign, versus, horde, and then escape.
Right.
At escape, you play these 3 random characters at first, and they had this cutscene at E3, and then they didn't tell us jack shit about them since.
Right.
Well, this campaign is their background and their mission, and I really goddamn enjoyed it. All 3 of the characters are really likable and diverse, and like it's Gears, and it's a short campaign. It's 4 hours, so they're not like fully fleshed out. But like for what is there, they're very entertaining. I like, and one thing that's neat is. So do you remember from the Gears 5 campaign, you had these skill trees for Jack and your abilities and whatnot?
Yes.
And you had different ultimates. So this one, what they do instead is they give each gear/co-op member a different ability.
Okay.
So the guy I liked playing as dropped an ammo box.
Right.
And then you have the girl who gets like a super knife, electric knife, and then you get the dude who creates a shield that you can stand behind him and he takes fire. And I really like. First off, this is one of the most beautiful games on the Series X right now.
Really?
Like, it's a real showcase.
Okay.
Like, Gears has kind of a reputation for having certain visual palettes that are like, with it, like 5 is like, oh, all snowy, all desert.
Yep.
You know, and then like 4 is like all nighttime and like cave system for the most part. And then, like, you know, 2, we're all well aware of 1 through 3.
Yep.
Gray and red. You know, so
and blood and flesh.
Yeah, and like this one is very like is set on like tropical islands. So you go through like a tropical village, and you go through like a cave system, and you have this one level where you're like riding down a river of lava on a giant steel door.
Okay.
And it's super fucking dope. Like you're fighting, like you're passing by stuff and fighting stuff, and stuff's hopping on the door, and you're fighting it off, and like you'll get stuck on a tree and have to wait for the lava to burn it up. So you have to hold this point, and all the time, of course, the characters are bantering because it's Gears of War, and I absolutely love that. I think. It does feel like it's meant to be played co-op, though, because you have 3 characters with 3 of their own abilities that can be played off each other.
Okay.
Versus where I was playing it solo, so it was just like, I need ammo. I like having unlimited ammo for my good guns, so I'm going to play ammo guy.
Right.
So that, and like the other 2, I can tell the other 2 to use their ultimate, but how useful is that? Not really.
Sure.
So yeah, like that was really cool.
Okay.
I think it's a little short, but that doesn't bother me as much because it's free with, Game Pass, and it's the main game. I think that I also think that you'll get a couple playthroughs out of it because of collectibles and achievements, and I actually want, and like a lot of this story feels like it's leading into Gears 6, like to be a piece of Gears 6.
Okay.
And then on top of that, it also has, on top of all that, if not, there's a couple of returning characters, and I would love to see a game of this crew. Like, as much as I like Junior Phoenix and Old Man Phoenix and God, what's his name? Or what's her name?
Cat.
Cat. As much as I like them, these 3 remind me a lot of the original Delta Squad.
Ooh.
There's a lot more banter to them.
Good.
There's a lot more fucking up.
Okay.
Because like Cat and JD and the dude who in my save bought it, and Marcus are all very serious, and yeah, they have the occasional like bantery moment, but
it's not the same.
It's not the same versus this crew has a lot more of that.
Do you think that this is more like a good sign that they're going to incorporate those characters in a sequel?
I would hope because like they are like in the canon a big deal now because they're the ones who get sent into the hives to like to fuck shit up.
Okay.
So like yeah, and I realize Kat's going to be a big deal going forward because of her blood relation and everything, but like
right.
Her and JD are always so fucking serious.
Right.
And like the thing is like, okay, like I like that part of Gears of War where you can have a serious plot, and like one of the most emotional moments in like video games comes from a serious moment in Gears 3.
Sure.
When like Dom, saves everyone and kills himself.
Yeah.
But on the other side of that, this is also the series with the Coal Train.
Right. It was one of the best moments. Was just one of the greatest things about Gears 1 was those 4 interacting with each other. That was it.
Right, I've actually been playing like because of this. I've also been playing like Gears 1, the Ultimate Edition,
Okay.
like that remake they did, and like man, Gears 1, certain parts of it age really well, the banter included,
Sure.
and some parts do not.
Okay.
But yeah, like that. So yeah, I really hope that like I kind of hope they fuse the squads because like now that new Delta Force is like down a guy, depending on which save you pick, we don't know we don't know which one of those end up being canon yet.
Right.
But now that he's down a guy, I'm hoping that like I don't know, maybe they mix and match some people in.
Maybe.
Like
It'd be interesting because like this being DLC, like do you think that they could switch those in and someone like played just base Gears 5 and then dropped it and then came back for Gears 6 would be caught off guard?
I mean, I think if they introduce the character well, they could get around it.
Sure.
I don't know how, but like I think that like just like give fucking Hoffman some dialogue of you're working with this fucking squad that I set up to you go and infiltrate the hives, and then just here they are.
Yeah.
I forget the name they gave the squad. But I'm gonna look it up now. But yeah, like it's.
So is this a campaign that revolves around this squad?
Yeah, it's
Okay.
around this squad. So they are given a mission to go into the hive, the heart of the hive, on this island chain, and go set off a gas bomb. Scorpio Squad. That's it. Okay.
Okay, sure.
Nice little reference there, by the way, Microsoft.
Yeah.
I see what you're doing. But to go into the hive, and then shit goes wrong, and they figure out a new way to do it, and it's about them, and like that's the primary goal. But like the real plot is them like becoming the families that they all lost,
Right.
and them like making up for their careers as like kind of their careers all were kind of rough before this.
Sure.
So yeah. No. But yeah, I had a great time with it. It was super fun. It was more Gears. Who doesn't love more Gears? And they took out. One of my big complaints about Gears 5 was I thought the open-ended sections were bad.
Okay.
I thought they were pointless and dumb.
Yeah.
And there's none of that in this. They went back to instead of these bad open sections, we're just going to do big set pieces, and I think that works way better.
Man, yeah, set pieces. I think their set pieces haven't been the most amazing all of the time, but it's certainly a better way to go. Yeah, I think back to like Gears 5 and like the best part of the original campaign when it came to that open world stuff was a set piece. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah.
So it's just like, and then I think back to Gears as a whole. Like, I don't think that series lends itself too well to exploration. I think back to like, especially because like the movement isn't great.
The movement is what really limits it. So like, yeah, you need to have like a tighter.
So it's just like I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, I think back to like Gears. Like Gears has had some good set pieces. Like in Gears 2, like that train scene, the Brumac scene, the worm.
Yep.
Like
good stuff.
Yeah, like there's Gears 4, the motorcycle chase.
Sure.
So I think that you kind of need to limit it to
Gears 4 had some amazing set pieces.
Yeah, and Gears 3 did too. Like Gears 3 had like had the fucking like ships crashing into each other and falling and shit, and like the helicopter stuff and the boat stuff.
Yeah.
Gears in general has had some good set pieces, and I feel like Gears 5 they wanted to make a campaign that is closer to what, say, maybe Sony is doing with a lot of their titles. That's what it felt like, especially in the beginning.
Right.
And they said, let's try and add this exploration element to Gears, and it just didn't work.
Yeah.
So to see this DLC go back to like shooting, walking with some story, set piece.
Yep.
Was nice to see, especially because the set pieces in it are all really good. They're you know, like I said, the only one I really spoiled was the lava door, but there's a boss fight, a certain boss fight that's pretty good. There's just a lot of, there's some really cool ideas in here, especially once again given how short it is.
Right.
Yeah, no, and then also you unlock all three of these characters to use in multiplayer, which, there you go.
Neat. But beyond that, it is you're basically paying for a single player experience, 3-4 hours.
Yeah, 3-4 hours.
Sounds nice.
You're playing for a single player co-op campaign. Encourage you to do it co-op,
if you can.
If you can.
Yeah.
Overall, well worth the time investment if you liked Gears 4 and 5. So,
do you need to play Gears 5 to enjoy it?
Oh no, absolutely not. I think that if you liked Gears 4 and you were like, but haven't played through 5 yet and were to start this first, you'd be fine. It'd be pick it up, enjoy it immediately.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That sounds great. So I was looking at this. We were talking about this before the show started. There seems to be a little bit of confusion as to what it is available to. So it says on Game Pass itself, it says it's for Game Pass Ultimate. However, as you've noted, it is also something that is
in the Game of the Year edition, which is on regular Game Pass.
Right. So you should be able to play it through the Game of the Year edition.
Right.
But we haven't been able to test that. It seems that officially it when it went out to all the websites, it says it's limited to Game Pass Ultimate. But I would check that. Maybe check the Game of the Year, and you might be able to just get it in that way.
Right, exactly.
If you have an Xbox and a PC, it's also just worth it to go ahead and go Ultimate.
Yeah, like if you're like us and you got both.
Yeah.
If you're like us and you got both, then it's definitely well worth it. I while we're doing this show, because of what platform, like I will probably be kind of hanging more on console a little more just until you get your Xbox.
That would be great because I would like to get one eventually here.
Do what I did and go on Facebook Marketplace and find a dude who just doesn't have time for it.
I've been checking Craigslist. You know that I've been.
Oh yeah, like
we found a scammer for Valve Index. That was fun.
Is the Series X on Craigslist up there as disgustingly overpriced as it is here?
It was like $650 when I looked.
That's not bad. That's more that's $100. That's $100 markup.
Yeah, it's definitely a markup. They're trying to make some money off of it, but it's not like the highway robbery that some eBay sellers are trying.
Oh, dude, in Reno, people are still trying to get $800 for it, and I'm like, okay, that's funny. That's
great.
Cute.
Great.
Especially because like. I've had I followed Wario64 for like a week, and like if I was willing to pay $800, I could have got like a full bundle. So like nah, son.
Yeah,
these scalpers can eat it. If you're willing to get bundles, if you're willing to pay that kind of money, you can get a bundle easily if you just be a little patient.
Right. I gotta start following Wario64. Make that happen.
Yeah, versus I paid a $50 markup because I once again, so I got my Series X because I was on Facebook Marketplace and I saw a dude selling it for $600. I'm like, that's obvious, that's a scam, but I'll see what it's about.
Yeah,
and I pull it up and I'm like, this in stock? You real? And he's like, yeah, I got it for Christmas and I don't really have time for video games or it, so I'm just kind of selling it. And
that sounds all right. And like, it's not. Yeah, you found an honest one.
Yeah, and
good for you.
So, and then it was a $50 markup, and I'm like, $50 for me not to have to go deal with shit.
And then in reality, you paid 70 because 20 of that went to getting someone to get it for you.
Yeah. Even then though, that's not bad.
No, not at all.
And Steph,
I just find it funny.
Yeah, like it was just like, go.
This has to be done. So yeah, cool. No, I want to get one real bad. Just a matter of time. So yeah, but yeah, you are piquing my interest with Hivebusters. I did not finish Gears 5. So
how did you get in Gears? I always wanted to play through that co-op with you, but I never we never got around.
We never got around to it. But hey, guess what? Games are kind of having a slowdown for the first portion of this year, so maybe we'll fit it in somewhere.
You know what would be real funny? I just thought we could do.
Okay.
So you know how someone has to play as Jack if you do 3-player co-op?
Yeah.
We should play with Parker and have him be Jack.
Sure. Yeah. Look, man. Whoever's willing to play Jack, we'll make it happen.
It's like, Parker, we want to play this game with you.
Oh my god.
Lord.
Fun.
So yeah, I think that Gears of War fans will really dig it.
Gears of War fans, absolutely. All right, cool.
Also, there's a character in this that is straight up Quinn. If you guys know our Discord and have been on streams before, this is just Quinn in Gears of War.
You have seen the real Neon Outlaw wandering our Discord and wandering our channel. So yeah, and then I saw on Discord he checked it out himself and said, "Oh yeah, it is."
Like, yeah, because I commented that when I finished the campaign the other day. I'm like, so Quinn is in this game apparently. Yeah, so I definitely go play that. Go play it. It's
and even if you don't have Game Pass or you don't otherwise have access to it, it's $20.
$20. That's a hard. That's a rough one because it's like of how short it is.
Right. Like I'm purely thinking
like
of
it a lot.
Yeah, I'm purely thinking of it in terms of like relating it to movie price tickets. Movie ticket prices. So like it works in that way, but like yeah, video game prices don't necessarily work that way.
And I'm also going to throw this out there. If you haven't played Gears 5 yet, it is one of the best games on Game Pass, and you probably should.
And that's just Game Pass. So
it's just that game is straight Game Pass. It is. It has a quality campaign, and then also a quality. It also has a fantastic multiplayer that I actually find myself coming back to more often than not. So
I saw you on it recently. Yeah.
Yeah, like I was just kind of loud. Sorry, I loaded up the page. So yeah, I kind of found myself. I might as well expand this to Gears 5 in general because we do have time.
Yeah.
That game is that game in general is fantastic. It has a really fun, fast-paced multiplayer. We've done Horde mode, of course, as community nights. That's a real fun time. Escape mode, once again, also real good.
Right.
So yeah, no, and. They also do another thing is I'm on Series X now, and I've been playing it on that system, and yeah, dude, it looks every bit as good as the PC version.
Damn.
They did and actually, and in some ways better because on my system I can't turn on certain things for Gears.
Sure.
Once again. Hivebusters and Gears, all the other great games. Last year you heard our review of Gears 5 on the podcast. I think the open world sections kind of suck, but every other part of that game is great. When it's being Gears of War, it's as good as it can be.
I am watching a trailer for this game right now, and did they bring the Sergeant guy back from the first game or the first few games?
From the first 3 games, yes, he is in Hivebusters.
Wow.
He is the one who sets the mission up.
That's great.
Yeah, I actually just pulled the achievements for Hivebusters. Only 2%, 2 to 3% of the people who have played Gears 5 have played Hivebusters.
Wow. See,
That
yeah,
is
they need to be.
Yeah, this needs to be fixed immediately.
Need to get the word out. And like I said, I was trying to look up just for footage of Gears 5 Hivebusters, and like if you were looking for official footage, there was almost nothing. Like a lot of the promotion of this game is coming from the users.
This thing's stealth release. The only reason I know about it is because I play the multiplayer and I logged into the game and it's like, hey, there's a new campaign thing, Hivebusters, and like I remember texting you about it.
Yeah.
Being like, hey man, do you want to play Gears DLC? And you're like, fucking what? They made DLC for Gears? And I'm like, apparently.
Like a new campaign. Like they haven't done that, right?
Yeah, like they normally just do like, here's maps, here's modes, here's like that kind of shit. So
weird.
Yeah. No, it's
sounds good. We should absolutely play some co-op Gears 5 into Hivebusters.
Yeah, man, I'd be down. We'll see if we can get a 3-pack going for it.
Absolutely. Let's figure something out.
Yeah.
We already have a potential game we're playing on stream later, but
yep.
We'll work on that later. Anyway, should we move on to my game?
Yeah, man. What did you check out? What did you find in the depths of the Game Pass?
I'm gonna take some drinks because I'm gonna be talking a lot.
You found on that there PC.
Yeah, so this is actually for just regular Game Pass, and it's also available on Steam. This is called Monster Sanctuary.
The hell is this?
Okay, so I'm going to say just up front that it is the best I can describe it is 2D Metroidvania Pokemon.
Okay, go on.
So it's weird. Look, if you're a fan of Pokemon, you might have noticed it's getting a little old. It's starting to show its age. They've just been doing the same thing over and over again, but maybe they've been introducing new themes and new locations and obviously new Pokemon. But it's been kind of the same. Bronson and I have talked about this on Super Gamecast 2 plenty of times. And then Temtem came out, or early access. I think it's actually releasing this year, like 1.0. But Temtem came out, and we checked that out, and it was, it was a little different. There were some differences and new monsters and all that, but like if it weren't for the controversy surrounding Sword and Shield, you might have considered Temtem to be more of an homage to Pokemon rather than an alternative. This seems like an alternative. This seems like someone trying something different with Pokemon. And an interesting thing about it is that it tries to be different by incorporating more traditional JRPG aspects.
So what do you mean by that? Because I'm looking at screens of this, and it looks like if someone took Pokemon and like combined it with like Mega Man, and it looks cool. Like I'm not gonna lie, I want to check it out.
So like, okay, so at the beginning of the game, I just want to say right now, like you might initially be turned off because it doesn't seem all that stellar or crazy when you first start out. Like the visuals are not necessarily amazing. It's again 2D Metroidvania, so you're just jumping from earth soil platform to earth soil platform, and there's some little tiny monsters here and there that are not iconic the way Pokemon have become. But it's interesting in that they've played around with Pokemon mechanics. So you are monster keeper, and your goal in life is to become I believe it's like a keeper master. There's some similarities. You have a team of 6 monsters. They all have roughly like 4 to 5 moves. That may change because to be honest with you, I want to be upfront with everyone. I'm only like a few hours into it, like 4 or 5 hours into it. There's a lot of depth actually going on, or at least there's a lot in in front of me. But you inherit a journal pretty early on, which is basically your Pokedex. But like, because this isn't some crazy marketing scheme, they're not encouraging you to catch them all. It's just like, hey, here's a way to catalog what your Pokemon are, what your monsters are. Oh, that's been a bad habit of mine, trying to talk about this game. Monsters, they're monsters. They can't fit in your pocket. But what's interesting is, so first of all, the first thing up front is the default is 3-on-3 battles. You have to do 3-on-3, and what makes that interesting is you start with Pokemon. You have 4 moves, and you try to have them be a mix of certain things, of certain move types. You have your couple attacks. You have something to heal, something maybe more defensive, or buffs or debuffs. They don't call them buffs or debuffs in Pokemon, but in this game they'll like come out and say like the word proc in a description. Like they're very kind of.
I love that.
Yeah,
I'm adult Pokemon me, baby. Let's go.
It's kind of like that. There's something going. So now, because it's 3v3, it's very much like, okay, we have this, we have these monsters, and we are going to kind of set how they are. And one of the ways they do that is, instead of having a plethora of moves that they could potentially learn and that they learn over time, you are given potentially, like I said, about 4 or 5 moves or something like that. And then there's a skill tree for those moves that expands as you level up your monster, which applies various passive and active buffs and debuffs, for yourselves or for the enemy. Rather than having, like just switching one move out for another move. So you're using skill trees to upgrade your Pokemon's abilities, your monster's abilities, throughout. There's 101 monsters in total, and you head out, and your goal is to be the best, like no one ever was. It's been really interesting. It's the 2D platforming has been the weirdest bit of this, because if you've played some indie 2D games, you've played yourselves some platformers that doesn't really hook you at the start. And
how are the controls in the 2D platforming? Because that's always my question when I hear the words 2D platformer.
So it's weird.
Does it feel good?
It feels good if you control it the normal way. They try their best to actually let you use the mouse as much as you can, which can be difficult in some ways. So like when you're just like sitting here just hanging out and you're using your mouse, you can like click and hold and it will run in your direction. You right click to bring up the menu, and you can do a lot of like menu work only with the mouse, going backwards and forwards and checking things out.
What about with a controller? How does it do with the controller?
So I actually haven't done with the controller, but if it controls the way the keyboard and arrow keys work, it's perfectly fine. It like the jump feels pretty good actually.
Okay.
It's not going to be Super Meat Boy Celeste-esque, but it's not necessarily trying to be that. Though there is some, they do ask for some skill. It's not dead. It's not super easy. And one of the things, okay. Here's a really interesting thing about Monster Sanctuary. So, Pokemon, you have HMs, so you can cut and swim and do all that fun stuff.
Yes, you have an HM slave.
So, yes. So, first off, this game, the way it's all set up, you don't have to have an HM slave. Everyone has their own sort of role based on their attack movements and their type. But another thing is for platforming, every single monster has an ability, which means if you see a crack in a wall, you summon, whatever monster you need to open that crack, and then it opens up an area where there's like a chest inside, and you open that up. One that's been really useful for platforming is a flying monster, which I'm forgetting the name of right now. That will carry you like Tails style for a short distance, which will get you that extra length or height that you need. And so they actually become integral into to just traversing the 2D space.
So it becomes. So are they essentially like the power-ups in a Metroidvania?
Right. Yeah. And you can switch between your 6 in your team to do whatever you need to do. There's one it's a rock monster, and you summon it for its power, and it just summons this little tiny rock. But it's like that's just exactly what you need for the height that you need to get to. Because the flying power it really helps you only horizontally. It doesn't really actually lift you. It lifts you a very tiny bit. The rock just gets you that little bit that you need. And there's others. Again, I'm fairly early on. There's 101 monsters to discover, and there's also evolution in this. So there's plenty to discover through evolution. Some interesting designs that I've seen, and really like when you're first playing it, it doesn't like strike you as anything special. But once you get the monster journal, I only discovered this today. I hadn't looked at the journal really. I went in today, and they have like actually more full detailed pixel drawings of each of the monsters. And
do they look good?
I think they look good. I think they look really good. Especially when I was expecting to only see these little sprites on the screen, which were not impressive, other than the one you start with.
Yeah, like because I'm looking at the screens of this game, and like, yeah, one of the you're right. Like the on-screen ones are not great.
Yes,
I like the ones in the menu look better.
So. So like they don't give you like the full drawn ones, but when you go into the journal, they have like much fuller, more detailed pixel art of each and every one of them, and I think they look great. Obviously not all of them are going to be bangers. You need your Pidgeys and your Caterpies, but
I like Pidgey though.
I like Pidgey too, man. Pidgey's great, but like we're not going to sit here and pretend that Pidgey is the most visually stunning of all the Pokemon.
No, he turns into Pidgeot, which totally is.
Pidgeot and Pidgeotto and Pidgeot they look great. Pidgeot Super Saiyan 3 Pidgey. It's good stuff, but
I will go even further beyond.
I mean, that's Mega Pidgeot. That's Super Saiyan 4 Pidgey.
So he gets monkey hair all over him.
Well, actually, no. Actually, Mega Pidgeot is actual Pidgey Super Saiyan 3 because it is long. The long hair bit. So
gotcha.
It's this video I'm showing on the YouTube is from probably Jacob. Thank you, probably Jacob. Oh wow, they did some full on edits here. I don't want to show too much of that. But so someone go check out probably Jacob. they clearly put some hard work into that video. I don't want to steal from him. But so one thing that's interesting is, again, taking from a more traditional RPG, it's 3v3. You have one piece of armor and 3 items that they can hold, which can boost the different stats. And then you can also feed them food. And the last 3 things that you fed them, those buffs or whatever they are also added. So it's really interesting. You can really alter how each monster really plays purely based on what items are attached to them and what you've been feeding them. And what's interesting about that is to heal your Pokemon, you have to feed them food. So, or your monster. So unless you're using specifically healing items outside of food, you have to feed them food, which then rotates what's in those last 3 food items you gave them. So kind of keeps that going in a cycle to keep things lively. I should also say a very important thing for a Pokemon-esque game, you do get to pick your starter at the very beginning. And the lore...
Are there types?
There are absolutely types. And there's types, advantages, and disadvantages.
What are the starters?
So the starters, there are 4 of them. It is a water wolf, which is what I chose, a fire lion, a wind eagle, and I think like an earth frog.
Earth frog and fire lion sound dope.
Fire lion is pretty dope for sure. I went with water wolf because they put a lot of work into making those sprites look cool because that's the starter, that's the one that's bound to you. In the lore, it is that these monsters go with your family line and will be with you until you die, and then go on to your descendant. So there's 4 houses, and so you pick one at the very beginning, which one you represent, and it's a fun time. The types, advantages, and disadvantages are all there, but then they also complicate matters. So, like I've explained, the attacks and how they level and change rather than switching out one attack for another. There's also, and then there's 3v3. You can change the order at any time. You can switch them out at any time. You do lose your turn with that specific slot when you switch them out, just like in Pokemon. But one thing that's really interesting is there's also a combo mechanic. So this game, a lot of moves, almost all of them, hit more than once. And so what happens is the more times you hit, a combo goes up. And so, and then your damage percentage as a team goes up as that number goes up. So this actually incentivizes you to use your weaker monsters or Pokemon or monsters that are using other things. Use those at the beginning to get the combo meter up, if nothing else. And then your last monster in your team is your damage dealer, and that will lay out, damage with 150% increase.
Dude.
So you have to keep that in mind at all times.
This sounds really interesting.
It's actually really interesting.
So this seems like the kind of game I want to play on a portable. I'm probably gonna wait for this to hit for that once that Game Pass hits iPhone to check this out on there.
Absolutely. So it is out on Game Pass. It's out on Steam. Regular just Xbox, PS4 as well.
It's on Switch apparently too.
Is it on Switch?
I just checked because I was like, oh shit.
Oh, it is on Switch. Hell yeah! There you go. That is a great Switch game.
But it being on Game Pass means it'll be on Game Pass for iPhone later this year. So
when is that happening this year?
Hold on. They did not say.
Is it already on Android?
It's already on Android. You're good to go.
I need to figure that out.
It's Apple. Them and Apple had to make a deal.
Is that so?
Yeah. So.
I'm just checking stuff here.
Let's see. It says when it comes to cloud gaming services.
Emily, I just saw your message. We probably only have time for one beer tonight. I'm drinking a 7 hazy IPA. This is made in Tacoma and Gig Harbor. It's all right. 7 Seas Brewing.
Mm-hmm.
You'll like it. Okay. It's all right.
So it just says spring 2021.
Okay, that's not too far.
That's not too far. Like I know that there's gonna be people in the chat butthurt that I run on iPhone.
Oh, whatever.
Dude, no, people get so uptight about the phone wars. It's funny to me. I'm just like, shut up. I've been on iPhone since 2010. I'm not moving.
Whatever, it's a phone. To just let people.
It's a good phone. It's a damn good phone.
Sure. I've been having problems with my phone, not necessarily Android or anything. It has nothing to do with that, but it's just the phone that I got has just been fucky compared to my last one. Yeah, so I don't know. Anyway,
so would you say? So what would you say for someone like me who is kind of like a lapsed Pokemon fan, and part of the reason I'm so sick of it is I'm like, fuck, please make one of these for adults.
So I can't fully speak on that because I'm actually early on, and what that means is I've been kind of blowing through my enemies. So and like the writing has not been like necessarily for adults or anything. It's very much like you are a keeper of monsters. Animals or monsters and humans fought in chaos, and 4 houses came together and learned to work together with monsters, and now we keep monsters, and that's how we keep the peace. And it's like, okay, fine.
So,
what I would say is, I think you, especially as someone who's, we've had that conversation about like not caring about Pokemon anymore. I think this is worth a shot. I think that early on you will have opportunities where you'll say this isn't doing anything for me, but like the what's supposed to keep your interest is like just how the ways it differs from Pokemon, from in both terms of combat and in terms of, instead of an open world top down, it's this 2D Metroidvania that you're exploring. There's also a PvP aspect, which I have not gotten to yet, but you can play against other people.
Okay, I am down to check more of that out because it looks interesting. Like, part of my beef with Pokemon over the years has been like I really loved those first 2, even 3 gens, and then 4 and 5 were just not doing it.
Sure.
And then I really loved 6.
6 is great.
And then everything after 6 was hot garbage. Like, just not doing it for me.
Sure.
And then I came back, and so, like, because I like the idea of Pokemon.
Yeah.
And like, I get that they're always trying to make it accessible for kids, but like, this is the only Nintendo franchise that can't do both. Like, a grown man and a child can enjoy Mario and Zelda.
Yeah.
But like, they refuse to do that for like Pokemon, and it's just like, fine, give me a Pokemon alternative. Fine. That's, and I all right. So yeah, cool.
I think that this game, it depends on, like, I don't understand. We'll have to see how successful it is. I just joined the Discord recently, just to see how that's all going. And there's, let's see, I'm looking at it, like the community is about, I want to say a little less than 200 on Discord. Or maybe I'm reading this wrong. Yeah, or a little more than 200. Oh god, wait a minute. Oh, never mind. That was people that are like on different ranks. This is actually at about 1,700, and maybe more, because these are only the people that are online. There is a group that is into this for sure, and time will tell how successful it is, and if it's successful and it like gets a sequel, then there may be some room for growth here. But I think it's worth checking out, just if you have a few hours to be open to trying something different. It's not the fastest start, but it's not like a Pokemon kind of thing where it's like you are sitting here clicking through different text boxes explaining the same garbage to me over and over again, and then I walk from one to another, and then it initiates another cut scene of the same crap, and it's not like that. So,
okay, good, sold. Sold. We'll play.
Okay.
All right, so that's
I'm definitely gonna be playing more of it. For sure.
That's Monster Sanctuary.
Monster Sanctuary. That is on Game Pass. That is just straight up Game Pass. You can play that. If you have any form of Game Pass, you should be able to play that.
All right, right on.
And with that, I think that is it.
Yeah, buddy.
That was a good time.
So good time. So we got a couple things to promote here.
Okay, let's promote.
So we're on Twitter, Facebook, all the social medias. Just look up Super Gamecraft.
Yes.
Then you have we are having our Sunday podcast
Super
which
Gamecast
is
2.
Super Gamecast 2, where we go over all the news and to-do and occasionally a random topic in the world of video games. Next Tuesday at 8 p.m. Pacific, we have Top 10-ish,
Yes.
in which we will be going over a new top 10 list of some sort in the video game industry. And next week, we'll be back here at the same exact time, 8 p.m., to go over something from Game Pass. I'm currently looking into some old favorite.
Ooh,
And
okay.
I don't know what Aaron is looking into currently.
I'm looking into a few different things. So, turns out Game Pass has a lot of games.
It has over 100 games, and then it also has EA Play if you're on the console.
Right,
So,
yeah.
Also, we are on iTunes, and not only are we on iTunes, we're on Spotify, and also you can get all of these in video form on YouTube, within the next day. So, there you go, everybody.
Absolutely. Thank you all for coming and hanging out. We hope you get something out of this. Game Pass is a fantastic service for people who don't have a lot of money and just want some games to play. Hopefully, we see more things like this in the future.
Yep. And Monster Sanctuary runs on Xbox One, PC, it runs on everything, right?
Last I checked, it's Switch, Xbox. For Game Pass, it should work for Xbox and PC. It just says Game Pass on it.
Okay, but I mean Xbox One and up, like if I have Fat Betamax 1, it would run.
Yes, it should, because it says Xbox and then it says PS4. So
cool. All right, great, perfect.
Yep. Thank you all for coming and hanging out. We will talk to you later. Bye.
All right. Bye. Love you. See you Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
All right.